Please sit down. How are you feeling? Nervous? Scared? You should be. I'm kidding. No. I understand that you're feeling scared now. I understand that you're feeling nervous. You don't know what to expect. Going from a lifetime of having classes in Japanese to now being thrown into classes where you're going to have English spoken at you nonstop is going to be intimidating. And you probably don't know what to expect. But you're also probably excited and a little bit curious. I know, because when I started at iBS, I was also very nervous and excited and curious. And I made a lot of mistakes that first year and in the years since. But what I want you to know is that those mistakes are okay. iBS is a unique school, as others have already said, which I'm sure you're already aware of, which is why you all come here from different parts of the country. In this school, us teachers, we don't just talk at you and expect you to memorize everything we say and then just spit it back in a test. Instead, we're going to have conversations. We're going to talk about these different topics that come up in class, and you can feel free to tell us what you think, even if you disagree with what we think. I'd like to open up with this quote from a novelist named Neil Gaiman. As Andy said, I teach literature here, so I figured this was a good quote to open with. I hope that in this year to come, you make mistakes. Because if you are making mistakes, you are making new things, trying new things, learning new things, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before, and more importantly, you're doing something. More often than not in life, we're afraid of doing something because we're afraid of making mistakes. And I'm sure every single one of you right now has had a moment when you chose not to do something because you were afraid that you would do it wrong. What happens when you get a wrong answer on a test? Or when you mispronounce a word? Say the wrong word? You feel foolish, inadequate, maybe even stupid. But mistakes are good. They help us learn. When you were a child, you didn't study to learn how to walk or how to speak. You just stood up and you took a step and you fell down. But then you stood up again and you took another step and another, and you kept on doing that. That's how you should view your mistakes here, right? Not as something that you should feel embarrassed about, but as a way to teach you how to do something better. And every single one of you, by walking through that door today, by sitting here, you've shown more courage than most people. Andrew said the world is opening up, and yet a lot of young Japanese people are still turning inward. They feel less pressure, less reason to go abroad, to experience the outside world. You are all different than that. And learning another language is hard. Devoting yourself to an entire year of intensive language study, it's hard. But you're already in a better place than most people your age. And you've accepted a responsibility to improve over this next year. It's going to be hard, but it's also going to be fun. And it's going to be surprising. Every year, some of the former students are here, they can tell you that when they were sitting where you were, they ended up being different people by the time they reached graduation at the end of that year. You'll have a lot of help. You'll have each other. You'll have your fellow teachers. And I am really looking forward to seeing what you bring this year. Thank you very much, and welcome.